I'm Tiffany, and I'm originally from Chicago.
And I am Dreka, and I am from Mississippi, Long Beach, Mississippi,
Okay.
to be exact.
Come on. Y'all got beaches in Mississippi?
Same thing
Or
I
is
said.
that just Long
Yes,
Beach? Oh my
yes,
God,
on the
that's
Gulf Coast.
crazy.
On the Gulf
Okay, I
Coast.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
How was it growing up in Mississippi?
For me, it was good. It was like, I mean, not a lot of people know that Mississippi have beaches. When you think of Mississippi, like people that are not from Mississippi think of Mississippi, they think of primarily the Delta, because that's what's usually being talked about. You think of cornfields, cotton fields, and while Mississippi is a racist state, where I'm from, we have beaches. It's more like a, I can't say city because Chicago is very city, but it's more like a city to what most people think about, if that makes sense. So,
Okay.
I mean, I grew up around a lot of white people mostly, but I can say it was good. I mean, I learned a lot, and but I don't have to move back.
Okay. Chicago is beautiful, even though home is always home,
Yeah.
but it's always good to branch off. What about you, Tiffany? How was it growing up in Chicago for you?
Ghetto. Nah,
we can like we can have like a balance.
and that's the thing. Like growing up in Chicago, for me, I was around. I grew up, I guess, in like the inner city. However, I went to school up north, so like I was exposed to a lot of different, races and diversity, and
Hmm.
then also playing sports. Like you get exposed to traveling and going to different places.
Hmm.
So, for me, I think I had a good exposure to be well rounded to deal with different type of people. And not
That's
everybody in
good.
Chicago could say that because, um, if you think about it, a lot of Chicago people stay in Chicago or they stay in their like their hoods, their cities, their if you're from out south, you know out south. If you're from out west, you know out west. But for me, like I was able to travel, so I kind of get a lot of diversity just knowing how to talk to people and be around different people.
I am into fashion, and I do fashion, so that's like what I'm chasing after now. Two, I love ice cream.
For
I,
real?
yeah.
I like that though. So you love fashion and you love ice cream. What's your favorite ice cream?
Depends on where I am. So if I'm going back home and I get ice cream, I'm going to get it. We have a brand called Bluebell. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of it. It's not sold here though. It's only sold in the South. It's called Bluebell, and the flavor is Millennium Crunch. And then here in Chicago, if I'm going to like Baskin Robbins or something, Bennett Baskin Robbins, I like dang, it's like a sherbet ice cream. I can't think of the name right now, but I get a quart if I'm going. I get a quart and I probably eat it in one day.
You talking about the wild and reckless?
Yep, Wild and Reckless. That's what it is.
Okay. I never heard of it. That sounds good.
Yeah. So,
Okay. What about you, Tiffany?
I'm currently into real estate. Looking to get more into investing. So if anybody out there wanna, extend some knowledge, I'm definitely always open to learning. And then naps are my favorite pastime.
Come on. Taurus. That's Taurus in you. So we gonna do like a quick icebreaker. So I'll ask y'all some simple questions and y'all just point to the other. It'll be who is the most.
Okay.
Okay.
and tell the truth.
Right. Okay, so who is the most spontaneous?
Me.
Okay. Who expressed the most emotions?
Okay. I guess. I guess.
When
Okay.
we talk about nonverbal, it'll be her.
Yeah. Nonverbal.
Nonverbal.
I was
Got
gonna
I'll
you.
be
say.
verbal about my emotions for sure.
Okay.
I'll talk about it. So
Okay. I got you. Who is the best dressed?
Me, of course.
Of course. That's why we get in here.
I think that was a setup for
That
me.
was for you.
I'm finna go
Yeah.
change my clothes.
It
Me.
definitely was. Who makes who laugh the most?
I'm the funniest, so
Who's the
me.
funniest?
Why are you lying?
Bro, you be laughing at my jokes all the time.
I tell you all the time I laugh at you, not with you. That is different. What?
Yes.
I knew you was
Oh.
gonna start lying soon. I knew it.
I'm not.
I knew it.
Oh my God. Who is most likely to stay calm in a tough situation?
Calm, what's
Grounded.
that?
Y'all both earth signs now, but yes, okay.
Me.
Who says I love you the most?
Me.
Oh! Who plans the best date? Period. Okay, and if y'all were to describe y'all relationship through a song, what song would that be individually?
Our
Go ahead.
song is Bruno Mars.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's both of y'all songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all both agree to that.
Yeah.
Okay, can we talk about like how y'all met?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. You want to
Okay.
go? You want me to go?
You can go ahead, tell your version.
Y'all remember Martin when they both had two different versions? Everybody had a.
He just got a beginning part that I don't remember. That's all.
So, um, initially I had seen her. I don't know if it was at our school. We went to the same college, Mississippi Valley State University. And I saw her on campus, but I didn't approach her or anything. Um, so one day she had posted on Snapchat. Yeah, Snapchat. She posted on Snapchat and I was like, send her emoji. She read the message or whatever and she did not respond. So a couple of months later, she a couple of months later, she hit me up. And when she hit me up, um, I we was talking to, she said something about coming to Chicago. And I just laughed at her. And eventually like we started talking back and forth and I think she gave me her number and I texted her. And then she bought me a flight to Chicago. I came here and then the rest was history.
Come on, flew out. Okay, I love it.
So look, my version of the story, right? So the message she sent. All right, I remember the day. I don't remember the message, but if she really did send a message, it's because I was celebrating my best friend's birthday. And I was drinking, so I probably didn't pay attention to it.
Okay,
So it kind of was like I opened it and then just really pay attention to it. Or she sent the emoji. You know how some people send an emoji, a comment on a picture, and you don't really reply to it because it's just the emoji. That's
right.
that's that's my defense in that message because I really don't
Okay.
remember. That's my defense. Everything else after that is correct. Like um I had seen her on Snapchat, and I kept telling myself like, when she posts a picture, you better say something to her. Like I was beating myself up to do it because, like she said, we went to the same school, but we had never crossed paths. We never talked.
Okay.
We didn't hear of that. So I kept seeing her post pictures. She was celebrating one of her best friends' birthday weekend. They had a lingerie. So I'm like, you better say something next time she posts. Well, she posts like 2 minutes later. I'm like, dang.
That was
I'm like,
confirmation.
now I gotta say something because I told myself next time she gonna say something. She just said like she was ready for a new city. So it was kind of like a lineup for me to be like, I come to Chicago, and she did
Mm.
laugh at me. But I just said, here go my number. And she did mention that she texted me like 60 seconds later.
Oh my! What are you supposed to do when you get somebody's number? Wait.
Yes. You don't want to seem thirsty. So I'm like, oh yeah,
Okay.
I got it. I got her at
I
this
had
point.
a arsenal. I had a chain. Like
What?
I was, building my resume.
Stop it.
Come on, you got
Stop
to.
it.
So you was peeping Drinker for a minute before you
Right,
decided
because
to say
you know
something.
how you look at somebody, you be trying to be like, do they like girls or do they not like girls? So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have been
I get
peeping
it.
for a while, like maybe like even like a year or so because I wasn't sure, but I had peeped for a while. But she was in a relationship and I was in a relationship, but I still was like,
Okay.
I don't know if this person really, you know what I'm saying, like girls.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when I seen that she had a girlfriend, she never posted her relationship, but this one particular time she did. So I'm like, I knew it. I knew it. So then months down the line, now I'm single. I don't even know if she's single at this point, but I'm finna shoot my shot because I done geek myself up so hard. Like, you better say something.
Mm-hmm.
So when I actually said something, I gave her my number. She texted 60 seconds later. I knew I was in the game then. I was like, oh yeah, I
I
got
know that's right.
I
Come
got her now.
on.
I got her
Yes.
now.
Yes. Come on. I
But
love
yeah,
it.
and then so
Okay.
2 weeks later I flew her to Chicago. And I told her like, yeah, you need to move to Chicago because like I feel like when you know, like when you find your person, you know
Mm-hmm.
your person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, you need to move. She told me December, so this was April, my birthday. She's talking about December, so then I was like, all right, we'll work with December. Then she came back again, probably like the following month, and I'm like, no, I'm not waiting till December. Like that's too long, cause I
Oh,
knew what I wanted, and I
oh,
told her
you
like
had her drinker in a chokehold at that point, baby.
at that point. So that second time, I watched her walk away from the airport. Like when I dropped her off at the airport after seeing her the second time, I'm like, "You gonna be my wife at that point?" And I told her like, "You need to move here." So 2 months later, she actually did move to Chicago, like just that fast.
Okay, come on. That's manifesting. You got to put that energy out there because you just
But
never know where it's gonna signal. You know.
That's
So
exactly.
true.
now look, that's amazing. I love it. Okay, so like walk us through like y'all first physical interaction or y'all date, whichever one y'all prefer, or both. I mean,
So the first physical, like first time we seen each other, it was me picking her up at the airport. It was awkward. It was so awkward because it's like you've been talking to this person for so long, and you've never seen her or met her in
Yeah.
person. So like, I don't know, were you on crutches or
I
you
don't
had,
think that time I was. I
but
wasn't.
like she came to the car. We did like this little awkward peck, and it was just like,
Weird.
awkward. So like that was our first like kind of encounter, like me pick her up at the airport. But like once we got to the house or whatever, it was like a late flight, so she probably landed like at 11 o'clock at night. But once we got to the house, it was like we didn't miss a beat from our phone conversations, and we kind of
Yeah.
just picked up and then became like these big kids together. Our first day was at an arcade. Um,
oh, okay,
so it was like, a space where we not looking at each other and being awkward, but we could be ourselves type thing and
yeah,
still have conversation and a drink or so. So our first date was at the arcade just to relax and let loose a little bit. So it was good.
yeah, okay. Because it's like that dinner be making you feel like you getting interviewed, like,
Right. Now we
Cause
now we
like
gotta
it can
sit
be
here and look at
awkward.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like let me beat you in bowling or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
then that's gonna break the ice. Okay, so what was y'all view on each other? Like once y'all finally was around each other a little more, y'all got more comfortable. What was y'all view if y'all can remember? Like was it like what was y'all thinking at that point? Because that was different for the both of y'all. The
For
way
sure.
y'all met,
yeah.
the way you was ready to leave Mississippi. Now you in Chicago,
Mhm.
like you in a whole different city with a whole new face. Like
Yeah.
both of
First,
y'all, like
I think first I was like first I think I sent my mama yo tag number or something.
My car tag.
I
That
think
mean license plate for
yeah.
the
yes,
state.
So
I
yeah,
know.
it's a license plate. Sorry.
Yes,
So
depending
I
on where
sent
you
my
from.
mom, cause my mom never like, she asks a lot of questions. My mom will ask a question but for some particular reason, she did not ask many questions about Tiffany.
Mm,
She asked me like basic questions about her name. Did she go to school? Like, can she, pretty much trying to see, can she take care of you?
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
so when I first met her, like she said, it was weird. But as we got to, dating or whatever, I was like, okay, this. First, I told my line sister that she's gonna be clingy. That was my first thing.
I can't. So you just like felt it.
Yes,
You
I was
did.
like, I said, oh, she gonna be clingy, like, and
Who clinky?
me, but
Right.
that's beside the point. Initially, I
Right.
thought she was gonna be clingy, so I ain't know. Like with that, I ain't know how it was gonna go because I'm not a person that I don't really show emotion that much, even though I'm an emotional person. But I also don't. I like my space, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Yeah.
we're sitting together, you can sit over there and I'll sit over here, and that'd be fine. And we can touch
Mm-hmm.
each other, and then we come back. So
Yeah.
That's what she thought.
I.
That's not how it is.
That's not how
Come
it is.
on. Come
So
on, Big
so I thought she was gonna be clingy. So I didn't know how it was gonna work, honestly.
That's crazy.
But I was
Tim.
like, damn,
Okay.
I mean, did she fly? I mean, she fly me out.
Come
Maybe she
on.
could take care
Yeah.
of me. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Okay.
was
So
open.
you thought, okay. So you felt like, okay, she might be clingy. What about you, Tiffany?
I said that was gonna be my wife, but I had already knew it.
Okay.
Don't make me
Okay.
blush.
I know, right?
You're so dramatic.
Okay, so this is for the people. In y'all opinion, what should dating look like over time? Should dating be something that like fizzle out the longer you're in a relationship or marriage with someone, the more comfortable y'all are? Like, what's y'all view on dating? And what is dating?
I feel like when you dating, I mean, you just trying to get to know each other until you actually put a title or something on it.
Mm-hmm.
For us, we still date, even though like our lives are busy. We on two different schedules. Even if it's just us sitting in the house watching a movie, we
Doing
consider that our
karaoke.
date. So
Okay.
we try to make sure we do something. If even if we're not going out to spend money, it's
Mm-hmm.
something that we're
Royal,
spending some
wait.
quality time together. Because her week runs different from my week. I work in the
Mm-hmm.
school system, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm here by 5 o'clock. I'm at home by 5 o'clock, and she's at work. So trying to make sure that we like do check-ins. I think check-ins was weird for her at first when we started dating.
Mhm.
Like she would go somewhere, I'm like, you ain't tell me you made it. And it's not because I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to like be all in your business, but it's because I cared and I wanted to make sure that you got to where you were going safely.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I think just making sure that we stick to what we started to in the beginning, honestly. And I
Okay.
think dating looks different from everybody. It depends on who
Mm-hmm.
you are and what you and your partner have come to in agreement on. So for us, we try to make sure that whatever we know, like we're still into each other. Making sure that you and your partner is in agreement on what date
Mm-hmm.
looks like for the both of y'all are in y'all relationship because um whereas it may look one way in one relationship, it may not be the same for another. So
Yes.
just making sure
Mm-hmm.
like y'all have already communicated what it looks like.
Mhm.
Okay. That's
I
good.
say, dating is really, if I had to sum it up in one word, is being intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
if you know what I'm saying, if you know you're in a relationship or you're trying to be in a relationship with somebody or pursuing somebody, it's about being intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And it's being intentional from beginning to the end or whatever point you're at. It's not. It don't stop once you become boyfriend or girlfriend. It doesn't stop when you get engaged. It doesn't stop when you get married. It's being intentional. Like there's times where we forget to have a date night and we be like, man, we ain't had a date night in a while. Or I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I haven't seen you for real. Like we do, we sleep in a bed together and things like that. And it's about, all right, well, I know we haven't did this. Now, what's our next step? We not just gonna
Mm-hmm.
say I haven't seen you. We gotta actually do something about it and be intentional. All right,
Mm-hmm.
well, I seen this place. Let's go do this.
Mm-hmm.
We actually at one point had a jar where we just picked out what we were doing for date night, just to have ideas because so when it's actually time to actually go on a date, but I like what we gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
and you forget all
Right.
the things we talked about
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Um, so it's really just about being intentional, no matter what where you are in your relationship. Like we don't stop dating. And it does look different from everybody, just based off of how y'all relationship dynamic is. But for us, it's just about being intentional.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. And y'all seem really like in alignment with that. And a
Yeah.
jar is like a really good idea too, because it's like that common ground. Because sometimes it's like what you want to eat. I don't know what you want to eat. I don't know what you. Now we just spent two
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
us.
hours. We could have been gone. So it's like let's just
yeah.
pull and we gonna roll with that.
I would say I didn't see many relationships growing up. Um, my mom is married. However, um, it wasn't until maybe like I was 14, 15. At this point, like in my teenage years, I'm not looking at how he's treating. I mean, of course, how he's treating her, but like to relate it to like how I should be treated or things like that. I'm not looking at that because in my teen years when he came into our lives, I was, a girl teenager. Like I got an attitude. I don't care. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
can't tell me what to do. So, um, I didn't really see a lot of relationships. So I don't think relationships that are in my life now shape the relationship that I have with my wife. I think what shaped the relationship that I have with my wife is going through different relationships with other people and knowing what I
Mm-hmm.
don't want, what I will accept and what I won't accept.
Mm-hmm.
And then just making sure that I don't put myself in the same position that I did to make myself feel either defeated or like cheated on or anything like that. So I think most of my relationship skills came from actually being in a relationship and going through it myself.
And I would say for me, I think the relationships that I saw growing up is what shaped my perspective on relationships. It was several people in my life that were married, that were in committed relationships. My mom and dad were together up until my dad passed. So like I knew what I wanted and how I was supposed to be treated. And then I think having my dad also in my life, and I also have older brothers, and the way that I saw them treating me, or the way I have uncles and they were in relationships. I have uncles that were married, so I think that showed me like how I was supposed to be treated. One, and the way the relationship that we had with each other also um, showed me how I wanted to be treated and how I didn't want to be treated. So I think
Okay.
those relationships did give me a perspective of what I wanted, an idea to make sure that what I saw was how I was supposed to be treated, and I think that's the number one thing for me.
I love that. Two different like perspectives, but they are so like powerful. Like because people get caught up in like my parents was together 20 years or
Yeah,
it can be so many different things that puts pressure on you, where it starts to affect the decisions that you're making when it comes to like building relationships and stuff. So like I love both of y'all perspectives. Is it important to like discuss past relationships? Like how important do y'all feel that is prior to getting in a relationship or while building a relationship? I know for some people it can be like touchy. It's like I don't want to hear about your ex. And some people feel it's very healthy to talk about certain things because it's kind of like we carry things from our past relationships, whether they romantic, platonic, like family relationships. So, like, what does that mean to y'all as far as like discussing past relationships? Is that touchy or is that something that y'all practice?
I think we've talked about our past relationships. We were open about it, and I think when you talk about your past relationships, it gives you the other person an idea of the stuff that you will not tolerate,
Mm-hmm.
um, how you don't want to be treated, and why you left the situation that you were in. So I think it's healthy. Some people, I've heard that they rather not tell people what they've been through in their relationships because then they give the other person an opportunity to do the same thing. But a human is gonna be a human. They're gonna do what they want to do anyway. So you can, I think, open the floor to let someone know what you've been through and what you will not tolerate works. I think it's healthy.
Yes,
I agree.
absolutely. I
I
agree
think
too.
I also like I'm also the person that like asks the questions like what did they do to make you leave?
Hmm.
Um what things triggered you because one I'm the person who don't want to do those things. So my intentions on asking these questions is because I want to know so that I don't put you in that situation. You get what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So I don't make you feel however you felt when you was put in that situation because I could do something and not even know and you're upset with me and not know
Yeah.
that something else occurred previously to me and you're holding it against me. So I always ask like those type of questions to know about your past, whether it be a relationship with a person or even just a mother-daughter relationship, a sibling relationship, like any of those relationships, because all relationships can cause triggers for you. right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just romantic relationships that could put you
Mm-hmm.
in these mindsets or situations. So I definitely always ask those questions just so we can grow from them, and then I could reassure you to give you the reassurance that we won't be back in that situation. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I agree with both of y'all. Like that's really good. So, what about like communication styles? Like, were y'all communication styles somewhat similar? Like, how did y'all find a healthy balance? Or this may still be something that y'all working through. Like, what does communication styles look like for y'all individually? Like, how do y'all find like a common ground?
So this relates actually back to the last question. For me, in my previous relationship, I there was no communication or it wasn't good communication. So when we talked about our past relationships, mine was like I want to set the foundation for good communication. Like I need to
Mm-hmm.
know what's going on, and as uncomfortable as it is, I want to know. So I set the foundation from the beginning, saying like you gonna have to communicate with me. Like she didn't become, she didn't. We didn't start off with her wanting to communicate. Like
Yeah.
it was uncomfortable for her to communicate,
Mm-hmm.
but she did it because she knew she was gonna be my wife. But so like communication with us now, we actually have great communication. Like anytime we are getting in, I ain't even gonna say get into it because we hardly ever get into it, but I think that comes from our communication.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk, it's this is how you made me feel, or I don't really like when you did this, and it's about receiving the information and not saying, well, I did this because. Regardless of not why you did it, you still made me feel some type of way when you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so we definitely have worked on our communication. It's grew over time. I think marriage counseling definitely helped us with push us over the edge with having great communication. Um, but it didn't start off being with us having the same communication styles.
That's true. Very true. Because I would shut
Okay.
down. I would literally shut down. And she'll still be talking and she's like, why you not saying nothing to me? You hear me talking to you. I'm like, I don't want to talk. Like it took some time for me to be like, I don't want to talk. I need a minute. And I think it took for her to say, like, you could tell me that.
Like
Like
she,
you could
Mm-hmm.
tell me you need a minute.
that's
And I
communication.
can give
Yeah.
you
Come
that
on.
minute.
Yeah.
If I keep talking to you, I'm thinking you ignoring me, and that's rude. So
Mm-hmm.
it like the past 8 years, I would say my communication has grown a lot, but that also has come from, like she said, we did marriage counseling, and he, when I say he made us talk, he made us talk, but he also gave us different perspectives, and I think you need that perspective, especially me, because
Mm-hmm.
at a certain point in my life, it was like you a kid, like you listen. And so like it wasn't no back and forth communication. So you
Mm-hmm.
listen and then that's just it. And you take that.
Okay.
So um and also therapy, I think. We've all both like on different occasions had
Individual therapy.
individual therapy as well. So I think that also helped because you don't like you want to communicate, but knowing how to effectively communicate is the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing.
Yes. So y'all both have different perspectives, but that foundation being set is good.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So you talked about check-ins, and I had this too. Just to talk about like mental and emotional like check-ins. Is that something that y'all do? Like, what does that look like for y'all?
Mm-hmm.
Every day, honestly. Like you just saying like how you doing, no, like not just like how are you today, but like how are you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned earlier, we're on two different schedules, so like she don't get to see me. Like I might tell her about my day, but she don't get to see me when I come home from work and I'm dealing with kids. Like that's a lot
Mm-hmm.
within itself. So um we do like check in several times a week for sure.
Okay.
It looks like more so if we had to paint a picture, it'd be, hey, this a check in. Can we check in right now? And
Hmm.
it's mostly like we'll stop whatever we're doing and sit down and be like, well, how do you feel about this? Or if we had a thought throughout the day that we didn't get to, those are also a part of our check ins. or like even our future plans are about our check-ins. Like, hey, we ain't talked about achieving this goal in a while.
That's
Like,
good.
you know, what do we need to do to get here? So it's kind of just, hey, this is a check-in, and we stop doing whatever we're doing so that we can be present with whatever we're talking about.
I love that. So, how important is individuality when it comes to relationships, marriage? What does that look like for y'all? I know a lot of times we carry like certain sayings like we are one, which you can be one, but it's like we're still individuals. And that's
Mm-hmm.
very important to have that foundation within yourself too, because it's like if I can't be good for me, I can't be good for you. So like what are some things that y'all do individually to kind of have some time to yourself and to still stand stand in your individuality? You know what I mean? Like what does that look like for
Um,
y'all?
but for us in particular, like, of course, like she came here from Mississippi, so the only person she knows is me, right? So now
Mm,
she's out of my friend group because she is creating friends within the friends that I have. So me, um, we one we do individual therapy, like we said, to help us grow individually. So that helps with that. Two, the things that we like. So whether I'm playing flag football or recreational basketball, like that's my thing. Like that's what I go do to be me or be my individual self. And I think for her, she go thrifting, she go shopping. Like that's her
mm,
that's her free of mind space where she go out and record content, and things like that.
Yeah.
And then she's also kind of a introvert in a say. So I'll tell her like, hey, go out with your friends. Like me pushing her to go out or go do meet and greets. Like there might be a fashion something going on for
mm,
there might be a fashion wise going on, and she's gotten to the point where she could go by herself
Mhm.
because she's getting outside of the comfort zone of just
mm.
me. So
Yeah.
I'll say, no, I don't want to go with you. I need you to go by yourself so that you can create your own um, like resources and things like that, own connections, your own friends, because maybe I can't be there all the time, but so you need to be able to do those things. So just being able to figure out what we like individually and then pushing the other person, like we definitely push each other to go do those things,
Yeah.
because I don't want you to down the line and be like, my whole life been revolving around you because I moved to Chicago. So I'm big on forcing her to go create her own life in Chicago. Go have
Hmm.
your own in Chicago.
But I don't
Okay.
like that. I'm not a big people's person. Like you said, I am very introverted. So with
Hmm.
that, like I'd be perfectly fine if I'm sitting here on the couch and I'm just watching my shows. Like
Hmm.
that's also something that I like to do. But maybe
Nothing grows there.
nothing grows there.
In
Right.
your
In my
comfort zone.
comfort zone. You're right. I would say I don't think we have a challenge now. I think I I think our challenge now is being making sure that we are still dating, but with our busy schedules.
Hmm.
But I would say the biggest challenge from dating to now was the communication piece. Even though we've gone through all of these things to make sure that we communicate, it was for me, honestly. But that took me starting to get to know who I am.
Hmm.
And we talked about individuality. I had to, in order to get to know who I was and who I was in the season that I was going through, like I knew I wanted to go back to school. I was being encouraged to go back to school for fashion. I've been encouraged, being like, she's told me, like, go to school since
Since
probably since I moved here in 2017 because I always said that I did not want to be a teacher. And me being a teacher was because I was told to go to school and get a good job, and a good job was to be a teacher, but not to chase what I was passionate about. And I pushed that off so long. Um, but that takes me back to like the communication piece of it, being able to listen, to not feel like I'm being beat down on, but
Hmm.
knowing that she's holding me accountable for what I said I wanted to do. I think
Hmm.
that was the biggest piece for me to get over, honestly.
Okay. That's a good way to look at it. That's a good perspective.
another challenge, another challenge we went through was grief. Like last year, I lost my I lost my brother, then I lost my grandma like 9 months later. So like that was like our first big loss as a couple, like in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So just one, that was the first big loss I ever had in my life. So like her learning how to be there for me as well as her grieving because she knew my brother and my grandma very well. So just learning how to navigate through grief was like the biggest challenge I could say we've had for sure in our relationship. Because I mean that's stuff you're gonna go through in your relationship, but it was our
Yeah.
first time and it was like that was hard hitter grief. Like it was, you know. So just learning how to navigate through grief and still be present in our relationship, whether that's just us crying together or whatever the situation was. That was our biggest thing.
Okay. And I'm so sorry to hear about your brother and your grandma. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Goals. I feel like before us having a relationship, we didn't. I don't feel like I thought about goals or like what I wanted to do with my life or where I wanted to go with my life. I didn't even think about marriage, honestly. Um, so I feel like wanting to accomplish something and be better in life and have a foundation for generational wealth and what we didn't. I didn't talk about that before I met her. I didn't think about that before I met her. So um, I think that for sure just wanted to elevate in life and be create generational wealth for the kids that we will have or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say, even like me coming around to like having a family, because I've never been a person that wanted to have children, but now we're in the space like we want to have children. So, um, extending our family beyond just me and her and our dog.
Okay.
So, and then making sure we are putting them in a better financial situation than we were brought up in. I think that's big.
What have you learned from loving Tiffany?
I, patience and love is real. Um, and that I can be loved for who I am without having to change who I am. I think she has, she loves the quirky me. She loves my jokes, of course. Um, but I think her like showing me that it's okay to be who you are.
Mhm.
Even like I'm not everybody's cup of tea.
Mhm.
And but I know my wife got me.
Come
So
on. Okay, that's good. I love it. So, Tiffany, what have you learned from loving Drika?
How to love myself.
that's good. That's good.
Come
All
on,
right.
talk that to talk that.
Okay, okay. Clock it for real.
I think for me, growing up as like a dark skinned girl, like you go through a lot of. I ain't gonna say bullying because nobody really bullied me, but they talked about me, right? But I had my jokes back, but those words still hurt as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So I think I learned how to love me and my dark skin. Like I learned how to love me. No matter what phase I'm in life, whether it's me learning what I want to like to wear or don't like to wear or whatever I like, I just learn how to love me for me and realize like it's a part of who I am. So I learned how to love me through her.
Oh, look
Oh,
at
I
you.
love it. Come on. And can we shout out the chocolate skin? Like it's nothing like
Oh, cause what?
we got so when I tell you like we us as like black people, we have so many different flavors. It's insane. But I feel in my I ain't gonna even say that. But I chocolate skin is the most beautiful thing because I had to think
Beautiful.
about I don't want to colorism is a thing. You
Yeah,
can offend on both ends.
right.
And that's
That's
something
true.
people are learning more of too.
Yeah.
I know people have their perspectives, but it goes so many different ways. But shout out to chocolate skin. Cause
Please.
y'all
Yes.
Man,
Oh,
the
when,
way the vibrant, like the colors,
Yeah,
it's just a beautiful thing. Like that's it, that's all. But that just goes back to the conditioning too. It goes back to history and what we were people were conditioned. They don't know any better. Like,
yeah,
and people hate themselves, so they kind of project, onto other people, which
absolutely.
is crazy because it affects people.
yeah.
So, what is one of y'all favorite things about the other?
Like this my ride or die. Like whatever I'm down to do or want to do, because I am the spontaneous one. She gonna say no, but she gonna still do it. She gonna say no, but she gonna still do it for sure. As long as it ain't got
Okay.
nothing to do with birth or heights, then she gonna do it.
Hello.
Okay.
I
Okay.
thought you was gonna say something else. This is my ride or die. Like if somebody try me.
Oh.
That too.
um, exactly. I like that she is like my calm. Like I'm not always calm. I be ready to snap out,
Hmm.
but she could say one word to me and I'll be like, all right, or she'll say it ain't worth it, and I'm like, all right. So she can calm me down. Let's just say that she
For
can
sure.
calm me down.
Like her mama would call me and
Okay.
be like, "Can you talk to your wife and calm her off that head?" I'm like, "Alright,
Cause when I feel like it's go, it's time to go.
Right.
alright."
Yes.
PP for sure.
Yes. I love it. What are y'all the most proud of individually and together?
I think we talked about this probably like a week or two ago. Like we got married, we are homeowners, like we starting a family.
Um,
Like these are things that we didn't even think of before we got together. So I think realizing like, man, we actually own this home. Like we
Yeah.
actually are married, and you know what I'm saying. I feel like that's a very proud moment that we just sit back and think about it. Like that's an accomplishment. As much as
hmm.
we go, I feel like there's a lot of great accomplished things that we've done that we didn't even think about that we were gonna do when we got together. Yeah, I knew at the beginning this was gonna be my wife, but I wasn't thinking like I'm finna own a home. I'm finna try to start a
Hmm.
family. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think that far. So just realizing like, and then like we blessed. Like there's been times where we just sit back and be like, I didn't even know how we was gonna make it through that situation, man.
Hmm.
Just realizing like we blessed. I was just gonna say many people don't know, like we got baptized together. Like we
Mm.
started off with like having God as our foundation, and a part of our lives. So
Okay. That's amazing. Oh my God. Wow. That, okay. And congratulations too on y'all home. That's amazing. That's huge. I'm so proud of y'all. Yes.
I would have to piggyback like together. I will say the same thing. Like we all like this house. It was like what you want. She was asking me, "What do you want?" And we seen several houses, and I was like, "That's the one. No, that's the one I want."
Mm-hmm.
And she made it happen. And oftentimes, like if I'm cleaning, I'm just like, "Dang, this mine, or this ours."
Mm-hmm.
Like, like we can have a party here today, and nobody have to go home to tomorrow, and I don't have to worry about anybody coming to me
Mm-hmm.
telling me anything about anything. Um, and I think we always say like we blessed, like shout out to God because without
Mm-hmm.
Him, we wouldn't be what we are. Like I think we are kind of like a statistics. Even though we went to school, we have degrees. We have 2 degrees
Mm-hmm.
apiece.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that we want to brag on in a sense because when we decide to have children, our children would be like they'll know it's not like they're starting from the bottom because my mom didn't go to college. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say continuing our education, our home, and um, growing our family is something that I'm proud about. And then individually, I would say me kind of sticking to it. I've been creating content since what the pandemic, even though it has not popped off like I know it is. when it does, then people gonna know. And then just
Mm-hmm.
going back to school to do what it is I want to do, and that's fashion. So being in that space and making sure that I'm chasing my dreams and not feeling like just because I'm in my 30s, it's too late, knowing that it's
Mm-hmm.
not too late because I'm a
Yes.
black woman and black women can do anything.
Come on.
So
Absolutely.
um
Yes.
that's what I'm proud about.
Okay. That is amazing. Like y'all have even just sitting here. I mean, of course, I haven't seen y'all in a long time, but just
Yeah,
I'm so happy. I'm so happy for y'all. Like
thank
y'all
you.
are constantly, which is amazing. Like love is so powerful, and y'all are so purposeful too. I feel like y'all are both walking in y'all purpose. That's amazing.
Thank
Yes. So if anybody wants to stay connected with your fashion stuff, Dreka, Tiffany, with your real estate, like how can people stay connected, or just personally, just to follow up with y'all? Like what's y'all like social media?
My social media across everything is Pretty Weirdo Fashion. That's PrettyWeirdo Fashion. And then on Facebook if they want to. So I'm on TikTok, Lemonade, Instagram,
Everywhere.
YouTube. Holla at your girl.
We'll stamp it. I'll make sure we add it on
All
here.
right.
Yes. And what
And
about
if they
you?
want to stay connected with me, I am Tiffy J the Realtor. On all platforms. That's TikTok and Instagram, and then um, that's pretty much how they can stay connected to me. We also have platforms together,
Mm-hmm.
which is Tiff and Dreka on all platforms, and that's Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. So that's TIFF, the letter N, and then Dreka Dreka if they want to stay connected with us as a couple.
Yep.
Okay. Y'all ain't playing with Meta. Y'all out here. Yes. I'm so glad that I got a chance to talk to y'all. Like, I love everything that y'all are doing. Y'all are an amazing couple, amazing individuals. Like, I love it. And I look forward to seeing, all of the great things. Like, y'all continue to find joy and happiness because it's coming.
Thank
I mean, it's here. We you living in it. We
you.
living in it. So, yes. So,
Well,
yeah.
thank you for having us
Of
because
course.
I'm gonna just say I'm proud of you.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Um,
You walking in your purpose.
yeah,
Thank
Don't
you.
stop.
I can see it on you.
Really?
It's
You
in
thought
you.
I'm making me
Yeah,
cry?
girl,
Y'all know I'm gonna cry.
girl, it's in you. Not it's in you and on you.
Right.
So keep going because it
Thank
gets
you.
hard
Hmm.
and it may take some time,
But it's worth it on the other
but it's work.
side.
Yeah, you can look
Yes.
back and say, "Dang, I see why it was delayed." I think I told Tiffany this last night. I said, "Delayed but not denied."
Come on.
Your delay is preparing you for something else. So
Ab-
delayed, not denied.
Come on. Yes, God's
Word.
timing. Divine timing
God,
is everything.
exactly.
Yes, I definitely receive it. Thank y'all for coming on. Thank y'all for watching. And yeah.
Thank y'all. Thank you for having us.
Yes.